Hi everyone! I have a totally different kind of horror game for you today. I have never seen a game more beautiful than Bramble the Mountain King. It is stunning. It really couldn't be any more different than the traditional horror games I've reviewed so far, but believe me, this thing is just as scary. The game is rated M for mature, meaning age 17 and up. Now that's a step up from something like Five Nights at Freddy's, which is T for teen, or something like Hello Neighbor, which is everyone 10 and up. So does this beautiful world filled with trolls and dwarves and giants deserve this harsh rating? Stay tuned to find out. If you haven't seen this game, it's based on a story from Scandinavian mythology describing monsters in the forest that catch children who sneak out of their homes in the night. In the game, Olle's sister has done just that, so Olle sneaks out as well so he can find her. As predicted, he encounters a variety of very strange and disturbing creatures set on destroying this cute little child. So let's get into the ratings to see if this game is better or worse than the other horror games for your kids. Let's not waste time and get right into the violence rating. Now you may consider some of what I'm going to show here to be spoilers, so be aware, but I won't say exactly where in the game these things happen. When I first started playing, I found it hard to believe it would be scary at all. It's a beautiful Scandinavian fairyland, but these forest creatures are not to be trifled with. Some of them aren't that scary looking, just kind of trollish, while others are quite a bit more disturbing. Other than the villains themselves, there are also some gross-looking scenes, like this one here, where it looks like you're wading through waist-deep guts and blood. I feel like the violence really builds in this game. It starts out not so bad. The first shocking thing I saw was the bear traps. Not only can you get caught in these traps, but your adorable little garden gnome friends can also lose their lives. There's not a massive amount of blood there, but it's definitely violent. But as you move through the game, we have Olle himself getting pretty vicious when he has to be, and the violence level really starts to climb. I guess he's gonna do what he has to do in order to find his sister. I don't want to give too much away about the ending of the game beyond that. So what does this all mean? How am I supposed to compare this to this? Bramble the Mountain King is definitely less of a jump scare type of feel, but it's also far more disturbing and has more of a grossness factor. Then, as things progress, there is a good bit of blood as well. But throwing away the comparison to something like FNAF, and instead comparing it to the violent M for mature games like GTA or Call of Duty, this is nowhere close. So I'm actually only going to set the violence level to a medium. Now that the big one's out of the way, we can quickly zip through the other ratings. Starting with cost. At just under $30, this game does cost a bit more than some of the other horror games, but the graphics are on a completely different level than those jump scare filled cartoon games. A lot of people compare this game to Little Nightmares, which currently costs $20. I think the graphics of this game are even better, and there's a lot of game here to play. While it isn't cheap, I think the price is fair, so I'll set this between a low and a medium. Moving on to sex. I was about to give this a 0 and move on, but then I remembered this lovely creature. Is that a female? I don't know. Whatever it is, it does seem to be naked. I don't think it's worth really adjusting the rating though, so I'm still gonna keep it at 0. Let's talk about language and profanity next. Every so often, your gameplay is interrupted by a very pleasant narrator. She's really able to put you at ease while talking about corpses and missing children. She doesn't use any profanity though, and there are no multiplayer chat concerns, so this gets another 0. The only other rating here is the annoying factor. Now this game is difficult, so there's no way a little kid could even try to play without getting very frustrated. So this is actually a case where the age I'll end up assigning this game is about more than just whether it's too scary. Yes, it would be scary for a little kid, but they also just wouldn't have the skills to get through it. Other than that, though, there's nothing annoying to me about this game. I actually think it's fantastic. This gets a low rating. We've gotten through all the ratings. As I said, my age rating here has to take more into account than simply the level of scariness and blood. A young kid wouldn't even want to play this game. It's not cartoonish, it's much more nuanced. Beyond that, though, if a kid were to play and see some of the more graphic scenes, it would definitely be inappropriate. I'm going to say I think this game is okay for age 13 and up. I think that's the right balance of when a kid would both be interested in the style of game and also not too horrified by some of the visuals. Now that's quite a ways off from the M for mature rating, which again is age 17. In my opinion, while it's not a kid's game, this is fine for teenagers. There's no shooting, there's only a small to medium amount of gore, there's no profanity, no risk of interacting with inappropriate strangers. In other words, there are a lot worse games out there for your teens to play. Bramble the Mountain King is a work of art. It's like playing a fairy tale, albeit one of those original Grimm's fairy tales that are way more violent than the watered-down Disney stuff we see today. Well, I hope this review was helpful. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to see more reviews of what games, shows, and more are okay for your kids. See you next time.